Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the April 11th meeting of the Jackson County Board of Education. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. All members are present. Mr. Johnson can hear me. If they'll go ahead and start making their way, we're going to stand for our pledge. We have our group from North Jackson Elementary. We got 17 students. Mr. Johnson is going to announce.
Thank y'all for letting us be here and represent for North Jackson Elementary tonight as they're coming forward. I want to introduce our students that we've got here with us this evening to help us lead the pledge tonight. When I say your name, if you'll please raise your hand and wave to the crowd. We've got Miss Ellery Herndon in kindergarten, Miss Faith Sonnenfeld in kindergarten, Mr. Bashwin in first grade, Miss Lily McKelvey in first grade, Mr. Briggs McCoy in second grade, Mr. Edison Kim in second grade, Mr. Reese Magnus also in second grade, and Mr. Ethan Weaver closing out our second grade group. In third grade, we've got Mackenzie Wheeler. In fourth grade, we've got Morgan Bell, Haley Jones, Audrey Kim, Anna Sophia Spendola, Ethan Weaver, and in fifth grade, we've got Colson Huell, Sawyer Jones, Bradley Dyer, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Miss Callie Cantrell to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Appreciate it, North Jackson. Kids leading us in the pledge. It's always a good time. Next up is the approval of our minutes. So we have minutes from our meeting on March 4th. We've all had an opportunity to review it. Are there any additions or corrections? Here none. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 4th? I have a motion. Do I have a second? A motion and a second. All in favor of approval of the minutes from our March 4th meeting? Aye. It's unanimous. We've all had an opportunity to review the minutes from our March 14th meeting. It's a Monday meeting. Any additions or corrections? Here none. Do I have a motion to approve? So I have a motion and I have a second. That's all right, Ms. Amos. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. So the minutes from the Monday, March the 14th meeting are approved. Next item up is the approval of our agenda. We all had an opportunity to review the agenda. Do I have a motion? So moved. I have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. Next item is our superintendent's comments, and then we do have a good healthy list of items to go through and look forward to. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Clairson, and other members of the board. We appreciate you being here this evening, and even as much. We're delighted to see the folks that we have here. That was a great pledge, and look forward to hearing some more highlights of North Jackson in just a couple of minutes. For our audience who don't always get to attend, we had a little bit of a different approach to our meeting this month because of spring break. So you have there attached the SPLOST and general fund reports because our work session was before spring break, which was prior to the end of the close of the month. So our finance department continues to do a great job, and we appreciate the work and leadership at our schools, but I just want to share and make sure that the board is aware that is there for your review. We continue to be very grateful for our present state of affairs when it comes to finances, and a celebration that I always like to point out, and this goes with spending locally. All of us, our average for our SPLOST collections continues to increase, and this past month's collections were just short of $1 million. So very, very appreciative of that, especially in light of the growth that we know we have coming and the things that we're going to need to do to meet the needs of a robust growing community. And then the last item there is an overview of our fund balance, and that's a 5-year picture for you, and we continue to be grateful that that's in a good place as well. Again, that goes back to the work of our school leaders and district leaders who are very cognizant of the prioritizations. And as I said, we are always delighted to be able to highlight one of our schools, and we saw a cadre here of wonderful North Jackson students who led us in the pledge, and this evening we're going to have a highlight of North Jackson Elementary School. Mr. Johnson, if you want to make your way to the stage, and Ms. Spindell, I don't know if you're coming, and while you're coming forward, I don't know if you have a few comments you want to make, and I'll start gearing up your short video presentation. Each month our board is always delighted to see what's happening in our schools, and we highlight one school a month. So this is North Jackson's month. Thank you.
On behalf of Ms. Mendola, myself, and the faculty and staff of North Jackson Elementary School, we just want to thank you all for letting us be here tonight and share just a little bit about what we've got going on at North Jackson this year. We started off the school year working with our faculty during our leadership retreat this summer. Our faculty and also talking with parents and students really wanted to focus on 3 things as we started moving into this year, and those were passion, performance, and personalization. And in talking with our kids and talking with our student leadership team, they said they felt like they missed out the last couple of years with COVID, and they talked about some of the things that they really wanted to do this year in terms of being able to get back to some of the fun things that were going on in school along with the performance piece. So what we've done is just shown you a little highlight of how we've been growing together, because what we've been focusing on this year at North Jackson Elementary is taking those things that some people see as challenges and making those opportunities for us to get better. We're not there yet. We're working on creating a culture of performance, but as we continue to grow together, what we've highlighted are some of the remarkable experiences. We've come to coin the phrase, everything is figure-outable. There are going to be challenges that come our way, but what can we do about it? And I can guarantee you, if you talk to a kid, they're going to tell you what you need to do to fix things. So with that being said, here's a few highlights of some of the great things that our faculty, families, and kids have been doing at North Jackson Elementary School this year.
Hello, the Cereal Box Challenge was such a success here at North Jackson. It went great with our anything is possible mindset, and it also really lived to give because we got to donate all the cereal boxes to ISO Ministries that provides our own students with the backpacks of love. And it's a great way to team build with our staff and our students. Also, it was just so much fun. It was so neat to see all the smiles and excitement around the school.
Hi, my name is Aki, and we are all connected. North Jackson now has over 17 countries represented in our student population. Students either dress to represent their own personal heritage or their class country on the special day.
Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm in 2nd grade. Our school celebrated that day about creativity, celebrating yourself, and the growth mindset.
As a gratitude breakfast, we ask. A gratitude breakfast is a day where we write someone we are very thankful for. We write them a letter and then we read it to them. And then we share a delicious breakfast together. It fits perfectly with our 7 mindsets attitude of gratitude. We are connected. It's a wonderful time to include our person we invite to meet our teacher and our friends.
In February, we kicked off a school-wide reading campaign that tied in with our mindset of 100% accountable. It was called NJES Loves Reading. We kicked off the month with every classroom meeting virtually with a published author. We invited over 80 community members to come in and be guest readers to classrooms. We conducted buddy reading across the building and grade levels. We sent home a student activity reading calendar so that students could engage in reading and fun activities at home, and we shared photos of them doing so on our Facebook page. We held Drop Everything and Read, where this whole school would read for 10 minutes. And we had our young Georgia authors read their winning entries on the morning announcements. We finally wrapped up our reading campaign with a book character parade and the spring book fair.
Hello, my name is Malachi. I'm in first grade. The reason why I love Breakfast with Bros is because I get to hang out with my family while eating breakfast at school.
On March 31st, Mount Jackson Elementary School hosted our first annual dance night, highlighting our students' achievements in art, music, PE, and STEM. Students were able to check out all sorts of new STEM experiences in our media center, show off their artwork that was posted all throughout the hallways, visit with their homeroom teachers, and show off routines that they had learned with the parachute set to decades-themed music through our music and PE specials. The event was very successful and we had over 1,000 in attendance, and we can't wait to host this event again next year to show off next year's students' achievements.
Hi, I'm Jamie Sherman, the school counselor and PBIS co-coach here at North Jackson Elementary. This year for our PBIS quarterly celebrations, we've done 3 so far. Our first one was a movie and popcorn celebration in the classrooms. Our second one was a cookie decorating celebration, again in the classrooms. And then our third and most recent one was an ice cream social, where students were able to get ice cream and then add some toppings on the final. And the most popular celebration that we will be doing in the spring, that is our Water Day celebration, where we have water slides and other inflatables. It should be a lot of fun. All of our students really look forward to it, and it's really a lot of fun.
Thank you again for giving us this opportunity to share some of the work that's going on in our school. We've got an amazing community with families and outstanding faculty and staff that give their heart every single day. So we just look forward to being able to share more over the next couple of years about watching us grow not only as a school and a community, but our performance and the opportunities that we offer to our students.
Lots of fun, and thanks to those parents who brought young folks from North Jackson. We're delighted that you were here and celebrating the activities that happened. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We also have the privilege of recognizing each month a couple of high school students and a couple of high school teachers. Thanks to our representative who recognizes these. So at this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Palmer if she can join me on stage, and let's highlight a couple of outstanding students, as well as the teacher that they may have selected as an outstanding Rotary teacher.
Okay, I know the question on everyone's mind. Exactly how tall is Miss Palmer? And I'm proud to report that in my sock feet, I'm 5'4.5" on a good day. However, my friend here, Austin, is 6'9". And he is joined tonight by his parents, Scott and Rhonda, back there in the back. Say hello. And they have raised a very fine young man. Austin currently takes AP Calculus, AP English Language, Honors Economics, and spends the rest of his day in Word-Based Learning, where he works at Commerce Rate Department, I believe. If you were to look at his transcript, you would see that, of course, his high school career, he's taken 15 honors level courses. He's been an active member of the FFA. He's been an officer for 3 years. Again, he is involved in the Word-Based Learning program. He's a member of the Jackson County Student Leadership Team. He's also a member of our swimming team, and he holds every school record that we have for boys swimming. And I wish you could see this young man's wingspan when he is in the lane. It is amazing. He is an honor graduate. He has been named Mr. EJCHS. And as a typical East Jackson High School student would do, he spends quite a bit of time volunteering in his community. He's volunteered at the Northeast Georgia Big Bang and at iServe Ministries. And he also helps teach swimming lessons and does a little lifeguarding in the Commerce area. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Austin and let him tell you a little bit about his plans after high school and about the lady that he has chosen as his most influential teacher, who I believe you have seen a few times this year already.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer. So after high school, as Ms. Palmer just said, I swim. So it's always been my dream to swim in college. So a few months ago, I committed to swim at Kaiser University, which is in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I'm going down there, and I plan on majoring in business administration. And I'm really excited about it. I'm counting down the days till I go down there. Yeah, tough life down there. So when I was told I needed to select a most influential teacher, it was a pretty easy choice to pick Miss Lawhorn. She's a great teacher, although I've never had her as a teacher. She spends a lot of time working on the yearbook and doing a great job with that. She takes amazing photos of all the athletes at our school, including me. And she's been a great swim coach for me the past 3 years. I honestly can't imagine swimming at East Jackson without her there. One thing about swimming is when you make the state team, they don't let the other swimmers that don't make the state team go. So I'm the only swimmer at state representing East Jackson. And it's a pretty cool experience to get to walk in with Miss Lawhorn and Coach Wilson and all the other teams with like 20, 30 swimmers are just looking at you. But I wouldn't want it any other way, and I think Ms. Lawhorn is a great mentor and teacher for just any student, not just me. So.
I have to say congratulations to the wonderful Austin. It's been fun to watch him grow over the years. Mom and Dad are back there, and you are so proud. I know that you are. We certainly are. And best of luck to you. You know, I'm retiring, Austin. There's a place down there that you need some assistance. And thank you, Ms. Palmer, Ms. Lawhorn, for being such an influence. At this time, if I could ask Mr. Lester to make his way to the stage. And let's got two more amazing individuals from Jackson County High School. As they're making their way, I do want to say thank you to Jefferson Rotary, who has continued this for many, many years. And it's a highlight for the board and for all of us each month to see the outstanding work of our students and the teachers who impact them.
Austin, I think we'll all be thinking about you next November or so as you're nice and warm in West Palm Beach here. That's about you. Congratulations. That's an awful lot of great accomplishments there. Ladies and gentlemen, board members, it's wonderful to be here this evening and to have an opportunity again to highlight just one of the amazing students at Jackson High School. And this evening, we are honored to be in the presence of Miss Faith Simmons. And Faith is a senior at Jackson County High School. She is here with her mom and dad, Brian and Stephanie Simmons. Proud parents and wonderful people as well who raised a wonderful young lady who we're proud to have as a Panther. This schedule for this year for Faith includes the following. She has taken some AP calculus, just a small thing there. She's doing physics. She's entering into a photography class as well. She does dual enrollment with English 1101 and 1102. And she's also taking AP Econ and AP Gov. Previously, she's participated in the AP program by taking AP Human Geography, AP World History, AP US History, AP Literature, and AP Lang as well. So she's certainly prepared herself well for her future endeavors in terms of academic rigor, but she's involved in so much more. And I'd like to highlight a few of those things. She has been a 3-year varsity football cheerleader for our football team and for the cheer squad and helped to raise the spirit of all those Friday night events. She's a member of our Beta Club and the National Honor Society as well. She participates in Young Life, and she's part of our Jackson County student leadership team as well, and has been part of that for the last few years. She's earned 3 varsity letters for cheerleading. She is also, if you've ever been to the Chick-fil-A in Brazelton, if you can get through that line, that one of the voices on the end of that, or the smiling face that greets you, is probably Faith. She's there quite a bit, working very hard at that Chick-fil-A. It's one of the wonderful people who it is her pleasure to serve us at Chick-fil-A. I've seen her there several times. She's wonderful when she's working. She does countless hours of service. We could count them at least 40 hours each year with Beta Club and with NHS. She has been the treasurer for Beta Club. She's taken all honors classes. She will be an honor grad this year. And we're excited for her for that. She is just a smiling face. You can just look at her smiling area. It's absolutely just lights up a room. And we're certainly proud of all that she's accomplished as a Panther. And can't wait to see all the great things that she'll accomplish as she moves forward as a graduate of Jackson County High School. I'd like to invite Faith at this time just to talk a little bit about her future plans and also to introduce Dr. Stephen Bowles, honorary doctor, but we give him that. And as her most influential teacher. Faith, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so after high school, I am committed to the University of Georgia, and I plan to major in health promotions, and then after that, attend PA school and become a PA in radiology. And this evening, I chose Mr. Bowles as my most influential teacher because he not only works hard in school, but also outside of school, making sure his students are taken care of. And not every teacher says, you can text me up until 12 a.m. to ask any questions. And he also works in individual time, and he's helped me prepare for the ACT, the SAT, all that good stuff. And I just want to say thank you.
Congratulations, Faith, and again, Mom and Dad, thank you for being here. It's a delight to see the success of these students, especially having watched them grow. And Mr. Bowles, you're a frequent flyer, and there's a reason why. We're very grateful for everything you do for all of our students, certainly. All right, if you'll notice on our agenda, we have our Mindset Matters recognitions, and as you've noticed, we have that scrolling at the beginning, but I just want to continue to send a very special thank you to our schools who have embraced the Mindset Matters and continue to support the work of promoting healthy mindsets among our students. And so I'm not going to go through all of those, but that is there, and you got to see that scroll a bit earlier. And then I'd like to ask our athletic directors to join us because we've got some athletic accomplishments that we would like to recognize tonight. So I saw Mr. Lindsay starting to make his way, I think, and also Mr. Hayes. So Whomever. All right, Mr. Hayes, if you want to go ahead and come up, he can come in afterwards. We'll wait on him to come back. I'm sorry about that.
You thought you had that little speech right there.
Jackson County Conference of High Schools Athletic Director, Mr. Brad Hayes, is going to come share some athletic recognitions that we'd like to highlight this evening.
Do you want to call them up now?
I think you should, by all means.
If we could have our special guest come up. Appreciate it.
So, that's.
I appreciate you guys having us here tonight. Board members, thank you again. I know I got to speak to you last month about some things with athletics. And we are gracious to have the opportunity, y'all go sit right here, to, we have a lot of great things going on at Jackson County High School in athletics. One of the things we wanted to highlight was our wrestling team. This year, if you know a little bit about wrestling, wrestling is the longest, most grueling season that exists. You have to go through really 2 seasons. There's a team season, there's an individual season, there's a team tournament, there's an individual tournament. And so this year, our wrestling team finished top 6 in duels, which is the team, top 7 in individuals, so top 10 in both, in the state of Georgia in Class 5A. Those that you have before you are the individuals who placed at state this year, which is just a huge accomplishment. Again, the season is so grueling and so long. These student athletes just have to go through so much and endure so much, not only physical wear and tear, but mental wear and tear throughout a season. So if you would, I'm going to announce each of you. If you'll stay up there for a second after I announce you, I appreciate it. The first person actually had to work tonight, Jose Pacheco. He finished 4th in state. Dylan Jarofsky also finished 4th in state. Dylan, raise your hand. All right, Dylan is a freshman. Cooper Hoffman, the only senior on the stage, finished 3rd in state. He's a 2-time state placer. We have Xavier Sepacan, who finished 5th in state. We have Ethan Logan, who finished 5th in state. And then a few years ago, the GHSA made the decision to allow girls to start wrestling girls. If you've been around for a while, you have sometimes had to endure girls having to wrestle boys, boys having to wrestle girls. Now there's a separate girls classification for wrestling. And Coach Powers has been at the forefront of basically saying we are going to be one of the leaders in the state in allowing our girls to wrestle. And the success has been amazing. And so the 2 girls that you have before you here, Raven Cook, if you'll raise your hand, Raven. Raven Cook finished 3rd in state this year. It's her 3rd year in a row finishing 3rd in state. So she's been a top 3 in state all 3 years. She's freshman, sophomore, and junior. She just went to Virginia a week ago, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and was placed in the All-American tournament to become an All-American wrestler. And then you have Lily Chavis, who is also a 2-time state placer, and this year became the 15th state champion wrestler at Jackson County High School, and the first female state champion. Lily also went to Virginia a few weeks ago, and also was named an All-American. All of this goes without saying, that much of the hard work and success is through the man standing next to me, Coach Powers, who does not want to be recognized, but he's going to be right now. Coach Powers, if you don't know, has been coaching at Jackson County Jackson County is pretty much in his blood. He wrestled at Jackson County. He was a 3-time state champion. He's one of the most decorated wrestlers in our history. Came back and has built a program that is unrivaled in the state of Georgia, in my opinion. And so it goes without saying that he's a great coach, but what I respect the most about Coach Powers is what kind of a mentor he is to these kids. He's in every part of their life. And it would be foolish of me not to recognize him as well. So we appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I was down there just cheering you on. It was amazing. If you ever get a chance, as a former basketball coach, I didn't get a chance to watch much wrestling because they go in the same season. Since I've been the athletic director, I've really gotten to watch a lot more wrestling. And if you ever get a chance, if you've never been to a high school wrestling event, it is amazing to watch what these kids put themselves through. And if you ever get a chance to come watch one of our practices, I would invite you to do that, because I'll walk in some days just to ask him a question. Next thing I know, him or his dad are yelling, and I'm wanting to jump on the floor and roll around, but I get hurt. So it is just an amazing sport. It is an individual type sport where it is literally you against somebody else. And the kids on the stage tonight are the best of the best. And we appreciate them very much. And I think we'll have questions.
Thank you, Coach Hayes. That was a warm introduction for me. I appreciate that. Coach Powers, congratulations on a job well done this year. And he has been here for quite a while, because I remember coaching him when I first started teaching. He was a baseball player of ours here at right up the hill here. I was a former Panther. But we won't talk about that anymore. I am here and am excited to announce and share some data with you about our East Jackson Eagles. 12 out of the 15 varsity teams so far this year have made it into the state playoffs, which is a huge accomplishment. We still have 7 more teams that are competing in their regular seasons right now in spring sports. 4 of those teams have finished as a region runner-up, so second place in the region. We've had 2 individual region champions in wrestling. We've had 1 sectional champion, Elizabeth Hollett, who's the first female wrestler to qualify for state for us, so that was a huge accomplishment for us as well. We had 7 state qualifiers move on from wrestling, and we've had we've had 1 region championship team, but we also had 1 team that was tied for first, which was boys soccer just this last week, tied for first and lost on a tiebreaker. So they actually are the 2 seed this week. We play this week. I also wanted to congratulate Austin, as I'm glad he's not standing up here next to me, because I like his farmer and not quite that tall, and it looks kind of weird standing next to him for me. But Austin has done amazing things in swimming, and because of that, I want to thank you guys for approving the aquatic center that will be coming next year. Is that right? Did I miss? Oh, Brad told me that y'all had approved that. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. It's always misleading. Austin finished, when he was swimming in state at Georgia Tech, he finished in 12th and 13th in 2 different events, and those classifications were combined, single A through triple A. So if you just break it out into triple A, into our classification, he finished in 6th place in both of those events. So that was an awesome accomplishment for Austin. So he set all of our records, and he's done very well in competition against other swimmers throughout the state. So good job, Austin. One of the teams that we really wanted to highlight this week was our girls basketball team. They won the region this year, and due to a couple of issues, one was lack of communication for me, and the other is they are in support of one of their fellow teammates who's going through some tragedy right now with some stuff, and so they had an event planned for today. And Coach Allen and I spoke this morning. He did not want to alter their plans for what they were doing, so I told him I would be more than excited to share with you all some of their accomplishments for our girls basketball program. First of all, they were 23-4 this year, which is the best winning percentage in school history. They had a 13-game winning streak. They were the regular season region champions as well as the tournament champions for us. The most points scored in program history, fewest points allowed in program history, and ranked in the top 10 all year, finishing number 9 in AAA in the state, which is very huge. We had a few personal and individual accomplishments within there. Junior Antonia Pittman was an all-state selection. That's first in the program's history. Region Player of the Year. She scored over 1,000 points as a junior, and she's Northeast Georgia and North Georgia All-Star Game selection. We also had senior, the only senior we had, Hayden Rollins, first team All-Region, first 4-year selection in the program history. She has also scored over 1,000 in her career. She's East Jackson's all-time leading scorer, and she's also selected to the Northeast Georgia All-Star Game. Destiny Rakestraw's first team All-Region and Northeast Georgia's All-Star Game selection, and Yasmin Clark All-Region Honorable Mention and North Georgia All-Star Game selection, and Elena David was also honorable mention. So as you can see, that team is full of talent, and with only one senior, they're looking forward to some really good things in the offseason moving into next year, and hope that we get to see much of the same. So that was our highlight for our girls basketball program. We appreciate all of your support within our athletic programs, and we're looking forward to finishing out the spring really strong, and hope that we get to see a few more in the playoffs. So, and speaking of playoffs, we will be hosting girls and boys soccer at home tomorrow and Wednesday. So if you're looking for something to do, come on out.
And I'm sure that our board would be welcoming of a May or June appearance if the timing is better for your girls basketball team. And I think that Jackson County had a girls World Region Championship as well, so I think it's still a soccer season. So thank you for those highlights. We're very proud of the athletic programs and want to continue to see them grow and perform. At this time, we are very excited to introduce Mr. Schaller and the East Jackson High School robotics team. And so I'm going to ask Mr. Schaller and or whomever his designee is to talk to us a little bit about this year's robotics team performance.
I am going to speak very briefly this evening. I'm actually going to hand it over to my students. I just want to thank you guys for having us. We are the East Jackson High School robotics team, as you can see coming on stage. We're going to show off just a little bit of some of the things we have and talk about our program, but we just want to say thank you guys for having us this evening.
All right, so first off, I'd like to preface this by saying thank you to the board for recognizing our achievements this year. And as you can see, they're getting flyers. They contain an overview of our achievements and also what we do as a team during the season and the outreach that we've done this year. And for the rest of you, Susan and Becca here are going to talk about our achievements in more detail, as well as the outreach that we've done throughout this year.
So for our program, outreach has been really important so we can spread the word of our program and grow our members. And I'm going to talk about a few of the outreach events we've done this year. One of them that we've done is we've assisted Beta Club's Halloween trick-or-treat event by buying candy for them. We've also helped buy hygiene essentials for students a part of the Eagles Helping Eagles program. And last summer, we hosted a robotics camp for the kids. We also have hosted a virtual meet with an engineer from Toyota who also sponsor us, and we've been mentored by a solutions architect from Amazon. So while it's really important to us to mentor other people, it's as equally important that we get mentored by other people in the industry. And now I'm going to hand it over to Susan so she can talk about some of this year's accomplishments.
We've had many accomplishments this year, and here are some of a few. We had a Northeast Georgia Finalist Alliance, a Northeast Georgia Innovate Award, Georgia State Qualifier, Georgia State Finalist Alliance. We hosted Jackson County League meets and the Northeast Georgia Regional Tournament host, and we also have our very own Georgia State Dean's List finalists. Also, one of our accomplishments this year was that we grew our program a lot. Last year we had maybe 4 team members each group, and this year we have way more than that, as you can tell. Thank you for your time.
I think the board would love to see one of those things run across the stage.
Oh, and of course, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now.
So can you tell us what you guys do with them? Tell us about the competition.
Absolutely.
For those that don't know.
So we participate in a competition called Freight Frenzy. So there are these cubes and there are spheres called freight, and we have to pick them up using this intake system at the front, a little spinner, scoop them up, and then we have to put them in shared hubs. And so these are towers at different levels. So we have a razor there, and then we can dump them out like that.
So is that a kit you just buy off the shelf, or you have to design?
No, we have to design and build this ourselves. This is a, yeah.
Amazing.
And trying to let the students lead a little bit, but I will jump in here too to help out. The game changes every year. So sadly enough, come next September, the robots that these kids have put 300 plus hours in, we will have to tear apart and build brand new ones. So every year, we get to build wonderful robots that work, and then every year we get to tear them back apart and for the game to change again next year. But the game will change every year, and we have to adapt those robots for the change of game. So like last year, the year before, we had a robot that would shoot rubber rings. We had a ball with that one. But it will change. One year we built a 14-foot tall scissor lift in one of my experiences. So whatever it is, these guys adapt, change it, brag a little bit more about them. We don't have instructions, so we built it from scratch. One of the things you will notice along these robots are a lot of 3D printed pieces. We have probably the best CAD designer ever over here, and he will modify those in Inventor, and then we will 3D print them using our 3D printers. Oftentimes we go through several iterations of those to make them exactly what we want. And just so you guys know, as far as numbers go, robots aren't cheap. They did an awesome job of fundraising this year. We've raised over $10,000 this year for our program. Spent $9,000. Some happened, all right. But we did a lot of firsts this year for Jackson County, which we're proud of, by establishing a league meet. So we're actually hosting robotics competitions here. And we even hosted the Northeast Georgia League meet that Susan mentioned. We had 30 plus teams from all the way from Forsyth County down into Atlanta. And we hope to do that again this year. The Empower Academy was gracious enough to let us host it here. So that's a great partnership that we hope to continue as well. So thank you guys. If you got any more questions, all right, come get your book.
I will say this, as a highlight as a board member, it's never old during the pledge, it's never old being able to celebrate excellence in athletics. It never gets old to celebrate things like, I'm kind of a geeky guy, I enjoy the robotics as an engineer, so that stuff, I'd like to see more of it throughout the year and see how it's progressing so that we can get a full understanding of the investment in time. So I appreciate you guys coming tonight, I really do. We're going to continue with our meeting in our next stage of the meeting, public comment, and no one sign up. Is there anyone here wishing to lodge public comment tonight? I guess some people getting up and leaving, so I'm assuming there's no public comment. So we will move on to our next item of business, and it is executive session for the purpose of personnel. I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel.
I move we go into executive session.
So I have a motion, do I have a second? A motion, second, all in favor? All right, we will move into executive session, and we will go across the line. executive session, to discuss personnel. I have a motion to come back from executive session.
So moved. A second.
So I have a motion and a second. You got ahead of me. All in favor? Aye. Executive session, it is unanimous. So before we get into our consent agenda, we are going to need to amend our agenda to include an action item after our last item on the consent. So this is, I guess, item 9. Is that fair to say? So that would be using Roman numeral 9. I'm not an expert at that, but we'll just call it Roman numeral 9. For personnel action, so do I have a motion to amend our agenda to include an item number 9 for personnel action?
So moved.
So I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
So I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay, that would be unanimous. All right, so we move into our consent agenda. Any members of the board have any questions or any item they would like removed from consent for further discussion? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is written?
I make the motion.
So I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
A second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous. So Roman numeral 9 is our individual action item. It is for the purpose of personnel. It is the appointment of Ms. Katie Warwick as principal of Maysville Elementary effective July 1st. Do I have a motion?
I so moved.
I have a motion to approve that appointment action. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
It will be unanimous and one abstention. That concludes our business tonight.